It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. The only real valuable thing is intuition. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The process of scientific discovery is, in effect, a continual flight from wonder. Force always attracts men of low morality. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. We still do not know 1,000% of what nature has revealed to us. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. Information is not knowledge. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. Love is a better teacher than duty. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. It should be possible to explain the laws of physics to a barmaid. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer silent vice to ostentatious virtue. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. It is only to the individual that a soul is given. There could be no fairer destiny for any physical theory than that. It should point the way to a more comprehensive theory, in which it lives on as a limiting case. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. All these primary impulses, not easily described in words, are the springs of man's actions. Isn't it strange that I, who have written only unpopular books, should be such a popular fellow? I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. People love chopping wood. In this activity, one immediately sees results. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism. How passionately I hate them. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. God always takes the simplest way. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking, if mankind is to survive. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. That deep emotional conviction of the presence of a superior reasoning power, which is revealed in the incomprehensible universe, forms my idea of God. Never lose a holy curiosity. Knowledge of what is does not open the door directly to what should be. We should take care not to make the intellect our goal. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. The man of science is a poor philosopher. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. I used to go away for weeks in a state of confusion. Most of the fundamental ideas of science are essentially simple and may, as a rule, be expressed in a language comprehensible to everyone. As far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. The grand aim of all science is to cover the greatest number of empirical facts by logical deduction from the smallest number of hypotheses or axioms. It stands to the everlasting credit of science that, by acting on the human mind, it has overcome man's insecurity before himself and before nature. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one.